There are 10 jumping monkeys. We want to divide them equally onto 2 beds. No more monkeys jumping on the bed. Just me, just me. That was a thing for my childhood. So 10 divided by 2, that would be 5 monkeys per bed. Yeah? And again, if you don't believe me, you could actually print this out and cut them out and put them out if you needed to. It takes a little while for multiplication and division to become natural. I know that 10 divided by 2 is 5 really fast because I know that 5 times 2 is 10. We can find 15 divided by 3 by dividing 15 dots into 3 equal rows. Each row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots. Farmer John has 28 pigs on his farm. He wants to divide them into equal groups so that each group has 7 pigs. Again, you can either do the division or you can just look and count. There is scaffolding here, and later on in the grade, later on in the stream, that scaffolding will be taken away, and eventually we're just going to be doing the multiplication and division. That looks like 4 groups to me. 72 divided by 8. You can split up 72 dots so that there are 8 in each row, which will make 9 rows because I happen to know that 9 times 8 is 72. Moving on. There are 18 apples. We want to put them into 3 baskets. There will be 6 apples per basket. We can find 32 divided by 4. There are 8 dots in each row. Again, for my part, when I divide by 4, I'm not dividing by 4, I'm dividing by 2, and then dividing by 2 again. I know that 32 divided by 2, I know that half of 32 is 16, I know that half of 16 is 8, so 32 divided by 4 is 8. Jim collected 10 acorns, 5 per group, that means 2 groups. And that's divide with visuals. Division in context. Now, once again, these are the dreaded word problems. So this time, this topic, I'm going to slow it way down. I'm really going to slow my roll because I want to make sure that everybody feels like they're on the same page. And I want everyone to understand why the words mean what they mean and how you can use them to solve problems. So we have 60 divided by 6. Let's take a look at each of these sentences and find out, is this division? Is this 60 divided by 6? The Millersburg Bakery had 60 bags of sugar. They used 6 bags of sugar to make some oatmeal cookies. How many bags of sugar are left? Well, to solve that problem, I would take the 60 bags of sugar and subtract 6 to get 54. So A is not correct. Part B. A jeweler had 60 gems. She bought 6 more at an auction. How many gems does she have now? So again, if she had 60 and she bought 6 more, that means she is adding 6. That is 60 plus 6, not 60 divided by 6. Divided by usually means either finding out how many are going to be in each equal group or how many groups there are going to be. Almost always, not always, but almost always. There are 60 bikes parked at the bike rack at Billy's school. If there are 6 bikes parked at each bike rack, how many bike racks are there? How many groups are there if each of them has 6? That's division. And yes, of course, the answer is 10. There are 48 people in the cafeteria divided evenly between 8 tables. So 48 divided by 8, if I take the total number of people in the room and divide it by the number of tables, that gives me the number of people per table. And I'm actually going to hit you with a pretty advanced idea really quick. Instead of using this division symbol, I'm going to go ahead and put it in fraction notation. If I have 48 people, all right, and I am dividing them amongst 8 total tables, Well, 48 divided by 8, as we said, what is it actually? 48 divided by 8 is 6. And it's people per table. Like the unit for that is people per table. And that makes sense in real life, ordinary English as well, right? There are 6 people per table. There are 6 people distributed to each table. The word per means divided by. You take the total number of people, you divide it by the total number of tables, and you get that number of people per table. I think I got that backwards, though. I think it's actually 8 people per table. No, it is 8 tables. Yeah, so it's the number of people at each table. Yeah, I got it right. Janet has 7 albums. She divides 42 pictures evenly between each album. And again, this is nice, gentle language. They actually use the word divide. She took 42 and she divided it into 7 albums. That's 42 divided by 7. Which problem can we solve with 42 divided by 7? So taking a look at A looks like subtraction to me. If I give 7 away to my friends, that I am subtracting candy bars, as opposed to I am divvying it up amongst my friends. B, Julie had 7 bags of jelly beans. There are 42 jelly beans in each bag. How many jelly beans does Julie have? Now that seems right, because we are talking about equal bags of jelly beans, but if we are looking for the total number of jelly beans, then we take the number of bags and the number of beans per bag, and we multiply them, not divide them. So B is actually a multiplication problem, not a division problem. And this is a distinction that is going to get frustrating sometimes. It just is. And I'm sorry, but it takes practice and it takes some frustration. And I still get these things wrong from time to time. So, be easy on yourself, be easy on your students. Leslie ran for 42 minutes total in 1 week. If she ran the same number of minutes each day, how many did she run in 1 day? That's how you know it's division. We are now taking a total number of minutes, 42, and we are dividing it among 7 days for a total of, 6 minutes per day. Caleb has 21 action figures. He puts 3 action figures into each box, which means there are going to be 21 divided by 3 equals 7. What? Number of boxes. We already know how many are in each box. The only 2 things that we're likely to solve for in a division problem are the number of boxes or the number of things per box. We were already given the number of things per box, so we were looking for the number of boxes. Alex, Brian, and Marta split a box of 12 cookies evenly. So we would take that 12 cookies and we would divide it by the 3 friends to get 4 cookies per friend. Which problem can we solve with 90 divided by 10? Well, I think that it's A. Rachel took 90 note cards and she arranged them in piles of 10. How many piles did Rachel make? That would be 90 divided into piles of 10, divided by 10, would give us 9 piles. And that is division in context. As always, I beg that you do not skip these kinds of problems with your student or your child, just because they can be frustrating. They will become more frustrating later on down the line if they don't learn early. It'll be harder later than it is now.